Just to give you a heads up, before you actually start to take the measurements so you can place your decal, I want to let you know that you need to measure from the edge of the lettering as opposed to the edge of the paper, because the paper is not going to be cut even. Now obviously it isn't going to look anywhere near this bad, but I made it ridiculously exaggerated here to illustrate what I'm talking about. So let's pretend for a minute that this is our window and we wanted to have the decal appear right in the middle of the window. So that means, I took the measurements, that means there's 13.5 inches of glass at the top, 13.5 inches of glass at the bottom, 7 inches of glass this side of it, and 7 inches of glass this side of it. Again, when I hung the decal, I had to measure from the bottom of the window 13.5 inches to this, to the actual letter. Okay, and then obviously we've got 13.5 inches here, and 7 inches from the edge of the window over to the edge of the letter. My hand was in the way there. Okay, and 7 inches here over to the edge of the window. Obviously, if we were measuring from the paper, we'd run into a real problem. We'd say, okay, well I need 13.5 inches at the bottom. Well, see, you'd run into a real problem because you'd be way up here to try and get 13.5 inches on this side. Changes everything. Okay, and then same thing, like let's say, well, 7 inches from the edge. Well, 7 inches from the edge, if you're using the paper, would be here. Not to mention if it's crooked, you run into additional problems. Alright, same thing applies with these larger decals. It's the same concept. Okay, you want to measure from top edge here, top of your window, bottom edge here, bottom of your window, and from, like say, this edge over and this edge over. Do that and you will be all set. Alright, this is what the decal first looks like when we cut it. Okay, and right now it doesn't have any tape on it. Basically you have the letters and they're stuck to this paper backing, and obviously the letters come off of that paper backing and then you stick them to the window. But you certainly wouldn't want to try to peel each one of these off and stick them to the window. That's not how you do it. So when you get your decal, it's going to look something like this. Okay, it's been rolled up, and you can see that it's got this tape on it. And what that tape does is it enables you to lift off all of the decals at once and then put them on the window. So that's that. Okay, so we've got it hung. Basically we've got a hinge and masking tape across here. Okay, and you'll see why we did it that way in a minute. First thing I'm going to do is take my squeegee and make sure that, that these decals are stuck to this application tape good before I pull the application tape off, because I want to make sure that they all come off the backing paper. Now if you've got somebody who can help you when you pull this off, it probably would be useful. It's a little bit more difficult as one person, but anyway, so I grab a corner and I start lifting it off. You can see that these letters are all coming off, and that's good. If one of them didn't come off, like say that P would have stuck right there and didn't peel off, I would just fold it back down and press it to make sure it's stuck. But we're obviously not having a problem right now, so that's good. Pulling everything off, everything looks good. And make sure you don't apply these in direct sunlight. That is a bad thing. It doesn't work well. It starts to screw the tape up and cause you problems. Okay, I got a little bit of wind, but anyway, I'm going to let this drape down. Okay, and I'm going to start in the middle with my squeegee. Go down, like that. And I'm going to work my way out towards the edges. Okay, and do the same thing on this side. See, I probably should have went a little slower there. I got impatient. I went like that, and I made myself a little bubble right here in the vinyl, which I can press part of that out from here. Got a little one here, but that's all right. If we have any left, I'll show you how to get rid of them. All right, so we got that on there. Looks good. Take off this. Pull this application tape off. Don't want to go too fast, but I mean it's stuck good. You don't have to worry too much. Okay, I've only got one really small bubble that I see. Well, I got a couple of them, but hopefully, I don't know if you can see this guy right here. I'm hoping that that's focused. I'm going to poke it right on its end here. Okay, put a little hole in it and then rub it right out of there, and it's gone. For 15 bucks and literally 15 minutes of your time, that's not so bad. Or I'm sure you could go to a sign place and have them professionally do it for a little bit more. I had my other vehicle done professionally and they charged like 60 bucks an hour for labor. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad because it didn't take that long, but still, if you just want to order the decals and do it yourself, it's that simple. And that's it.